In 2018, BC High won the coveted Super 8 tournament. They compete in one of the toughest hockey conferences in the country, and for the last 156 years, they've been transforming boys to men. I'm Joel Idelson, and this is New England Hockey Journal.
It's the pinnacle of high school hockey. It's winning the Super 8. It's everything you would think it would be. Despite starting the season off at 1-3-1, they came together and said, we're going to do whatever it takes. We don't want the glory, we just want the wins. And everybody bought in around them.
There's no better experience in my life than winning the Super 8. Being on the Garden at the end, last team out there celebrating with my teammates and our school.
Growing up in Charlestown, so close to the Garden, I would always go to every single Super 8 game. I can remember being at the 2007 Super 8 when BCI won, and just playing there in front of everyone from my town is just unbelievable.
Maverick Woods scored the game-winning goal last year in the Super 8 on Sunday. On Monday is our first day of spring sports tryouts, and he's there like any other lacrosse player trying out for spring sports. There's no one above anyone else, everyone's treated equally, and the sense of humility and hard work is prevalent among all the student athletes.
That humility and hard work was on full display as the BC High Eagles began their quest to repeat in 2019.
We won last year, but that means absolutely nothing to us. New season, new slate. We already have a target on our back, being a big name school, and now we have an even bigger one.
She's battling cancer right now, okay? So what we're gonna do here is I went out and made a donation and got stickers. So we're gonna wear stickers in her honor on our helmets.
In the moment, definitely awesome, you know, everyone's there. But coming this year, our team really tries to focus on leaving that in the past.
When you think that you can't get on a back check, you think of that little girl who will be in a hospital for Christmas. When you think you can't block a shot, you think of that little girl who's fighting for her life. That's why we play. It's a new year, it's a new page. The expectations remain the same. We want to win. We want to win the Super 8. We expect to win the Super 8. That's our goal. And if it wasn't, then we shouldn't be going out there every day. That said, we have a new team. We have a different team. There are some guys that remain, but there are some guys that are playing bigger roles and some guys that are filling in some other roles. So I think the expectation will always remain to work hard, to be successful on the ice, but it's definitely a different team.
We will hear more from BC High coach John Flaherty on New England Hockey Journal after the break. But first, some on-ice tips from our friends at RB Hockey.
With the Rodman Arena in Walpole, Massachusetts, and once again, I'm with Rob Barletta from RB Hockey and the Walpole Express. Rob, what are we going to look at today?
We're going to do some defensive game situation drills. We really want to get the defensemen working together, moving laterally, moving forward, gap control. All game situations.
These are flow drills.
These are flow drills.
All right, let's take a look. All right, what are we looking at here, Rob?
It's called our D on a string. What we want to do is we want our D to be skating together, moving laterally, then pushing the puck up.
All right, so on a string means when one guy moves the other way, it's almost like he's pulling his partner in that same direction.
He's pulling his partner in the same way, and you don't want to sag at all. You want these guys staying together.
This is all about puck support, right?
It's all about puck support, cutting the ice in half. And again, you want to have outlets, and this gives you outlets. And we're trying to teach our D not to cross their feet. They're doing pushes here. They're not crossing your feet at all.
All right, Rob, in this drill, what are we looking here from the defenseman?
Well, first we're trying to do, we're trying to have the player gap up. Once he gaps up into the play, he's going to do his pushes. He's going to pop. He's going to angle the forward in, take his hands away, over to his other player who's hinging, and then we're going to bring it right up to transition the puck.
All right, and so in a game situation, what is this emulating here?
This is emulating so the player's getting up into the play.
Okay.
The puck gets turned over.
Got it.
He's got to angle him to the boards. A lot of coaches, they say, you know, defense, we want you to kill that guy. We want you to kill that guy. We don't want you to kill the guy. We want you to take his hands away.
Separate the man from the puck.
Separate the man from the puck.
All right, so tell me about this drill here, Rob.
All right, this drill, what we're trying to do is we're trying to emulate a play again. Defenseman is getting up in the play. We're staying on a defensive theme. Our defenseman is gapping up, getting into play. There was a fight at neutral ice. Our player gains control, and you always don't want to go east to west, north to south. We're bringing it back to our defenseman. And a lot of times, coaches will say, you know, I want to tape the tape pass. I want to tape the tape pass.
Yeah, that's not realistic, though.
That's not realistic. You know, so what we're trying to do is our righties are catching it on their backhand, and that's why we're always teaching. We'll do that in our power skating, in our skills. We're teaching to have our hands off of our body.
It also gets them used to putting the puck back towards the D as opposed to always having a puck going forward. And you can see these passes all the time. They're not perfect, but they're using all the tools. They can kick it off their skate, use it on their backhand. It's a good drill.
You can't make a bad pass to a good player.
Rob, I liked how on that last drill, those defensemen were in an uncomfortable position. They might have a pass on their backhand. That happens in a game.
That happens in a game. A lot of coaches stress tape on tape, but that isn't game situation.
Not reality.
You have to be able to take that puck with the hands off the body, and that's how we teach that. Get it across, stretch passing, getting all defensemen gapping up. Everything has to work together.
Good job, Rob. For more information, check out rbhockey.com.
RB Hockey is powered by CCM. CCM, made of hockey.
We're at Sports Etc. here on Mass Ave in Arlington, Massachusetts. I'm with Rich O'Rourke. And Rich, last year we talked about fit, finding the right fit, using technology to do so. But Bauer's come out with the ability to not only find the right fit, but customize.
Yeah.
Tell me a
that's
little bit
correct.
about that.
So working with the same interface as the Bauer 3D Skate Lab, which we've been using for about a year now, we're able to scan your foot, and then from that scan, we're able to make a pair of skates that are specifically for your feet.
Okay, so how does the process work?
Essentially, we take a scan. From there, it generates a 3D model, which is built with the 3D printer, which is then forwarded to Bauer, and from there, they build the skates around the model of your feet.
Okay, so what Bauer receives is an actual 3D model of my foot.
That's exactly what it is.
Okay,
yeah.
so what is customizable?
So from there, you choose the lining on the skates you'd like, the eyelets you prefer, the blades you want, the style of the tongue you want, and then at the end you get to choose your player number and your name to go on the tongue.
Which I think is the most important part, of course. Okay, so if you not only want to find the right fit for your skate, but you want to customize your skate, come down here, Sports Etc., Arlington, Massachusetts. Say hello to Rich, he'll take care of you.
Simplify here, fellas, simplify. Nice and easy. Make the easy play. Nice draw. Ah, come on, Logie. Hey, D. I don't know when it became fashionable to use your feet instead of your stick. Use your sticks. Stop using your feet.
As an alum, you know, he understands the mission and the values of the school. He's a great coach, X's and O's, but the relationship he has with our student athletes and the hockey players is outstanding.
Hey, I get it, right? In a real game, that's coming out, though, right? In a game, that's coming hard and out. Hard and out. Great job protecting the puck, but just make sure that's coming out of the zone.
The 2018 Super 8 championship was the first as head coach for BC High alum John Flaherty. But he has been with the program since his playing days, first as an assistant to legendary coach Joe McCabe.
Graduated BC in '92 and bumped into Joe, and he said, I need someone to work with my goalie. So for me, there was no greater mentor to work under, his brother Billy as well. So it was great. I had a great career under Joe and Billy. Learned a lot on the ice and also off the ice. They were both great mentors, great guys, and they really put this program where it is.
Taking over in 2010, Flaherty knew right away that he had to build something new.
One. Thomas, come. Two. Get off the ice.
You can't rest on what's gone on in the past, whether it's a good year or a bad year, and you always have to keep looking in the present and trying to make your team better and work with these guys. Not every kid is the same. You have to figure out how a kid works. I've evolved now to be more of a teaching coach. I want our guys to be better, and I think that our guys are at the college level. I think their coaches will tell you. BC High hockey players go on to college and they know how to play hockey.
Move it! Nice, move the puck.
We all feed off of his intensity. We hunt pucks, we forecheck hard, and we just play the game the right way. And when he's yelling and screaming, we pick up off that.
If you do something wrong, he's telling you, he's calling you out in front of everyone, it doesn't matter. But he's probably one of the best coaches I've ever played for.
Get out of here! Get out of here! Get out!
His system, it's very abrupt and easy to adapt to. And I think once you get going with his style, that it can be a lot more motivating.
2 penalties on them. Wow. He got assaulted 3 times. I know we're working on D-zone, but we need to make sure we're supporting pucks.
One of the prides of our program for years has been how we play team defense. We don't give up many shots and we don't give up many goals historically. It's a 5-man defensive unit. When the puck comes in our zone, all 5 guys have a job, and it's to make sure that puck doesn't get to our net.
Flaherty also works full-time in the admissions office at BC High.
Seeing him in the halls every day, he's just grown into being one of my friends rather than a coach. And it's really reassuring to know that you have a coach that'll lay down in traffic for you, behind you on the bench.
Bring it out front, Jack!
These are the best times of their life. You know, sometimes I joke and say I wish I could put them in a time machine and bring them 10 years down the road so they could really see how special this time in their life is. So I want them to have great memories of this time. I want them to have positive experiences, and I want them to create those lifelong friendships that I had when I went to BCI.
Coming up on New England Hockey Journal, it's not too hard to remember the names on the Eagles' top scoring line. That's because they're all from the same family.
Welcome back to New England Hockey Journal. I'm with Jeff Cox, who is with the New England Hockey Journal, and this is our segment called Prospects Pulse. So Jeff, we're going to talk about three guys today. We have a Harvard commit, we have a BC commit who decommitted and has gone to Providence College, and we have a Brown commit. Let's start off first with John Farinacci.
Yeah, John Farinacci is a Harvard commit. He's a senior center at Dexter. He's from Chatham, New Jersey. Played in the Ivan Holinka team for Team USA this summer and had a really good tournament. Wowed some NHL scouts. His draft stock's soaring. He could be a first rounder, but probably more realistically a second rounder. But he's a kid who has a really good offensive skill set, smart offensive player, and every single game at Dexter he's going to be followed closely by NHL scouts, and it'll be a really big year for him as Dexter is a top 2 or 3 team in prep school hockey.
That's a good squad over there at Dexter, and as an 01, this is obviously a big season for him.
Yeah, you know, for people that are less familiar with it, the NHL draft for this year is kids born from September 16th, 2000 to September 15th, 2001. So for an 01 like, you know, Farinacci, this is the biggest year going in his scouting career, kind of.
Let's talk about Patrick Moynihan. So committed to BC and decided to recently commit to Providence College.
Yeah, it was kind of rumored for a little bit there, but he signed his NLI with Providence in November after previously being committed to BC. He's a kid who plays for the U.S. National Team Development Program. He's formerly from Nobles. He's a player who just hunts pucks, really hard to compete. You know, has some skill, but his speed and the way he hunts pucks and gets pucks to open teammates is what NHL scouts really like about his game, and he's another player whose draft stock is really soaring here.
I want to talk about Luke Chris next. So Luke's brother Chad plays for BU. His father Mark was a captain at BU, but he decided to commit to Brown.
Yeah, he's a different player for sure than his older brother Chad. He's less offensive minded. He's a little bit bigger, taller kid who does a really good job retrieving pucks, makes a good, smart first touch. He has, you know, started out the season with a little bit more offense than he has in the past, but, you know, going forward, he's just a defenseman that will retrieve pucks, break them out well, and make smart decisions with it.
Thanks, Jeff. I'm looking forward to next month's segment. There's some great talent here in New England, and look forward to see how everybody develops.
Yeah, there's a lot of good talent around New England, and thanks again for having me.
For more on prospects and everything New England hockey, check out hockeyjournal.com.
Kramer looks to take it right back down now to Peter Kramer. Peter Kramer, but Kramer dumps it down.
If it sounds like there are a whole bunch of Kramers on BC High, you're probably just watching the team's first line. Senior Thomas Kramer centers his sophomore twin brothers Peter and Joseph, and they're off to a high-scoring start to the season.
Peter Kramer takes a shot. Nope. Joe Kramer gets it behind the net. Joe Kramer tries to put it up. And a goal by Joseph Kramer!
You watch any one of them interchange the number, interchange the name, they play the game the right way. It's fun to have the three of them together. Whether that stays together all year, we don't know, but for now it is, and they're doing well, and they're exciting to watch. They play the game the right way. They compete hard in all three zones. They get on pucks. They block shots. They do all the little things that make any player successful.
We have a lot of chemistry. We get on each other, but we know at the end of it, we're still family. It's a lot of fun having those two around the school now. I mean, I get to drive them in every day, and I love playing with them.
Kramer line's definitely fast-paced, physical, and they all know how they play, whether it's their style or because they've been playing together for so long.
We'll be bickering in the car and stuff like that, talking about things we can do better, things we should have done last night, stuff like that.
Benson with everyone open, and Benson takes a shot. It's goal! Thomas Kramer with his first of the season.
Brothers grew up in Bridgewater, Mass. Thomas is co-captain and a team leader.
Thomas truthfully surprised me as a freshman how ready he was to step in and play. He's been on the top line pretty much all 4 years. Whereas he was a complimentary piece the first couple of years, and a very good one, we're now kind of building around him. Thomas is a very good hockey player. He knows the game, he wants to win, he wants to work hard. he can shoot a puck, and he's a guy that's a leader in the locker room.
Great vision on the ice. Could be a little bit more vocal, but that's just a criticism I have of him. He's just a great kid all around. One of my best friends in school and somebody I trust on the ice.
Thomas was not the first Kramer brother to play for the Eagles. He was preceded by and teamed with Patrick Kramer, who's now playing college hockey at Merrimack. Patrick's experience at BC High convinced his brothers it was also the place for them.
My brother really enjoyed the school, and I went to all his games, and I just really liked being there. The academics are very challenging to you, but they're very rewarding at the same time. And just like the whole school atmosphere of like giving back, being a man for others, that's very important to me.
Stay with us for more of the BC High Eagles when we return on New England Hockey Journal.
We're at the Rodman Arena in Walpole, Massachusetts. This is the home of RB Hockey and the Walpole Express. I am with Michelle Lounsbury again from Power Play Strength and Conditioning. Michelle, tell us what we're going to see today.
Sure, we're going to see 3 different ways that I like to focus on power with my athletes in the gym.
All right, let's take a look.
The most important thing an athlete can do in the gym is focus on power. We do that 3 different ways: plyometrics, medicine ball training, and Olympics. Here, I'm going to have Mike demonstrate what we kind of consider a phase 2 plyometric exercise. So we're creating an obstacle for him to jump over so he can create force horizontally and vertically. I like to always have my athletes start off jumping as high as they can over the hurdles, landing softly so their muscles are absorbing that force, and also holding on to that for a full 1001 count, so they're really teaching their bodies to decelerate safely and correctly. Another exercise I like to have my athletes work on for power is medicine ball throws. Both athletes are going to be pushing into the ground, generating power from the ground, turning their hip as hard as they can towards their partner as they toss the ball. At the same time, for an athlete such as a hockey player, this is actually going to help them improve a skill. So it's very similar to a slap shot, so that's really what I want it to look like. We really want to balance each side out. You'll find that most hockey players are going to be stronger on their slap shot side, but we want to get that opposite side as well, so reps to 10 for both sides. One of my favorite ways to teach power in an athlete is the Olympic lift, the hang clean. He's going to walk his feet underneath that bar, grab onto that bar, feet are going to be shoulder width apart. As he stands up, you're going to see he has a nice grip on the bar, just hip width apart. From there, the hang position means that he's just going to bend his knees and slide that bar down to that mid-thigh. What I focus on here is watching the athlete from the side. I want to see Aiden jump as high as he can so he gets that triple extension from his hip, his knee, down to his ankle. From there, that catch position, I ask the guys to catch it with their elbows up nice and high, because that really is the initial focus on that front squat.
All right, so obviously we know that power in hockey is very important. And everybody thinks power is coming from the legs, but it's really not?
Right, power actually comes from that hip really jumping high and getting that triple extension from your hips, knees, and ankles. That's why we work 3 different ways in the gym.
For more information, you can check out rbhockey.com.
RB Hockey is sponsored by Rodman Ford, located on Route 1 South across from Gillette Stadium. BC High has quite a well-known list of hockey alumni who often return to the school. One of them, Pittsburgh Penguins head coach Mike Sullivan, stopped by his alma mater and brought along a different championship trophy.
Mike has been a huge advocate of our school. Bringing the cup back was awesome for our guys, just to be able to see that, you know, somebody from BC High coaches in the NHL and won the Stanley Cup.
A lot of kids will come to BC High because of the sports programs and the success we've had, but we make sure from day one we emphasize academics and doing well in the classroom. I think the one thing that we really stress is our student athletes to graduate from BC High with a great experience in their sport, but more so that they become outstanding young men.
0-0 for the next 15 minutes. We win shifts and we win periods. Next 15 right here. Let's go. Let's go.
Some of these guys are coming long distances. They're leaving the house at 5 a.m. and they got to grind in school from 8:20 to 2:35, and then they have practice. So I think it takes a special type of kid that's willing to put that work in.
The biggest thing I'd probably say that makes BCI such a special place is the fact that the teachers are on the same team as you.
It's just the relationships that we make with our teachers. Like my history teacher, I have had an amazing relationship with him, and he's helped me a lot throughout high school.
Once you extended your stick, you didn't get the puck, you got his legs. You were going for the puck, but you ended up getting his legs.
Well, I think it's right in the mission. You know, we're really looking for guys that, you know, that are aware of others. We talk about being men for others. We talk about being of service to others. So, you know, in the education, obviously the rigor there, but in everything we do at BCI, we kind of get in the fact that we want them to be good people first.
Really strong relationships are made here. I've developed this group of friends from all over the state, and they're really strong bonds just because of the grind that we have to go through, playing on teams together, suffering losses. We talk about all that stuff together.
Getting back to the Super 8 tournament in 2019 is going to be a difficult task, but the Eagles are more than prepared.
We make our own name. We can't take credit for what our predecessors have done for us. So we're just coming into the season young and hungry and ready to go.
Our schedule, if you look at it on paper, of the top 20 teams ranked, we probably play 15, 16 games against those guys.
The score is not indicative of that team. We'll see them again. They'll be back. Be proud of yourselves. That's how we can play.
Our schedule is going to give the fans very good games, very good hockey games, and I'm hoping our team will give them entertainment.
See you next time on New England Hockey Journal.